What's happening, budget builders, and welcome back to the channel. If you notice, we've got the 911 outside.
How's it going? I'm Michael and this is Budget Builds. My dad and I bring rusty, crusty old cars back to life.
We went ahead and did that so we can go ahead and get all the body work for the most part done on this car. We want to get all the paint blasted off of this thing. We are using some paint thinner and obviously going to use the previous tools that we have been so far. Want to get everything knocked off of here, get any kind of filler that we need to on the car, get all our lines straight and everything so we can get prepared to paint this thing. Obviously back here we've done most everything here. I do need to get the rest of the paint knocked off of that flare. And I do want to get all the paint and undercoating off of here. Obviously, the newer one has that real thick Worth stuff, and then the older one has just a little layer of it. For the time being, I want to knock all of that off, and then we'll kind of decide if we want to just leave it nice and flush like the body, or if we actually do want to re-put that stuff down. Obviously, with this car, with the lines and everything, I really do want to leave this car rocker coverless. I think they look really nice without it. They do look good with it, but I think it looks better without it, especially the flow of the body and everything. Obviously, other flare I had already had on, and it did really well other than down here. If you can tell, we've got some filler that we need to get cut out so we can see what's going on there. And then right down here, when I was welding it, there was a previous repair in the flare using lead filler, and it like bubbled and burbled and did some crazy stuff. So I'll have to clean it up the best we can, and we'll have to get a little bit of filler in there, but I think it'll come out really nice. Really happy with how this side came out, and obviously you can tell it matches the other side really nicely. And so we're gonna go ahead and go to town and get all of this stripped down. Alright, so all of this paint cleaning up stuff sucks, and it's taking literally forever. I'm gonna give it a try. We're in the, hold on a second. I'd like to be able to try some professional grade stuff, but I've got this Jasco premium paint and epoxy remover, and we're gonna see if it'll remove some of these layers and the layers of paint a little easier than what we're doing. Alright, as we get going on everything here, we've got a lot going on down here, but we do need to move up top here. There is some rust repair, obviously, that we're going to need to take care of here and everything. We do want to get this groove, so it is time to go ahead and pull that window. The reason we haven't so far is that's kind of a hard window to store, and we don't want to tear it up. So for us, it was easier to leave it in the car until it was time to go ahead and pull it out, but now it is time. And what we're going to do is go ahead and take our knife and very carefully cut all the weather stripping off, so we're not fighting anything as we pull it out, and we'll get it popped out of there. Okay, you want to come out here? Is there any wires on that? I guess it just comes. You open it. All right, with all of our welds cleaned up and all of the paint off of this fender, what I'm going to go ahead and do is take some solvent cleaner. High Solve, this is from Crest Industries. Clean everything up really good here. All right. Thankfully, with how this came out, we need very little filler, which I'm pretty happy with. But we do need just a little bit to get a little bit of our ledge there filled in. I have sanded until everything has a little bit of a dip in it, and so we should be able to get this nice and flush with just a little bit of filler. So what we're going to use is some Shark Bite from Crest Industries. And I just want to tell y'all, be sure y'all go down into the description, check out the link to Crest Industries page. They have some really awesome product. Up until recently, unless you're a professional shop, you did not have access to this stuff. And now they've created a website so consumers like us can get a hold of it. And I just want to say, I can't thank them enough for being a big supporter of the channel, helping us out with all the restoration products and stuff that we've needed so far on the car. Their products are killer, and I'm super happy with what they have. I'm sure you've seen a lot of their products on the Goon Squad's channel. They love to use it, and so do we. But let's go ahead, whip some out, and get it slung on the car. We're going to mead this up a little bit. This is our hardener. These are pretty cool. They're little, it's your little thing, the thingy thing. Should be enough to get us started. Alright, let's mix it. Alrighty, now let's see what kind of mess we can make. Now we almost sanded it all right back off. But that's what we want. We want just a little bit in there. Just a very thin, slim layer, just to fill a little bit that needs to be filled. It's called Shark Bite for a reason. This stuff bites into that metal and does not come back off. It's really good quality stuff, and so that's why I'm happy using it on here. I think it'll turn out really nice. Obviously, once we are done with everything, once we are done with the little bit that we need here, we'll get the whole car etched out and in primer. And then we'll obviously have to start the process of blocking it and everything. That's a first for me on this stuff, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot of work. Obviously, we've done a lot so far, and there's a lot more to go on this body, but I want it to be just right. I want this car to show really well and prove what we can do in your garage. Alright, now that we've got everything fairly cleaned up, obviously it's not perfect. Like I said, we are going to have to get it down. We're going to have to get some more skim filler on it, block it and everything, and get it just perfect. There's a lot more to do here. I've got some rust repair and obviously a lot more to go, but we don't want this flash rusting. So let's go ahead and get this soaked down in some etch coat, and then we can get kind of an idea of how everything's laying and see how it looks. Alright, with that other side looking pretty good as well, I've gone ahead and hit all our spots where we need to put a little bit more filler with an 80 grit sandpaper. And what we're going to use is the seal skin from Crest Industries. Now this is a very light, easy flowing stuff. This sticks really well. We'll get this laid out and then we can start blocking the car. All right, with our filler on and dry, what I'm doing here is blocking this so we can get our shape just right. Now, for our big edges and stuff, I'm using this Durablock with a 150 grit sandpaper, and this allows me to curve it over top here and keep our lines nice and flush. And then for right here, I'm using this round one, and this is giving me that right shape that I need there. And once I get this line in nice, I can hit across with this. And obviously what I want to do, I want the least amount of filler that I possibly can here. So I want, because really the only spot that was really bad on this side was right here where we had that lead filler. So there will be a little bit more in this area right here. Being this is the Shark Bite filler from Crest, this stuff will not come off. There's a reason it's called Shark Bite. It's on there. Obviously you can see I've been going to town. I've got quite a few hours in this already. I'm probably doing more than I could, but I want it to be just right. I want, like I said before, I want this car to be as presentable, excuse me, as it possibly can be. I want to be able to go to car shows, hold car shows, you guys see this car and be like, dang, he did that in his garage. So that's what we're aiming for on this car. Let's go to town. All right, there she is. Let's go ahead and throw some etch coat on there and see if our hours of sanding and shaping worked out. See how it looks. I will say, I'm not a body man and I don't plan on ever being a body guy because this sucks, but we got it. I think I'll be happy with it, hopefully. Now obviously this is just an etch coat. This is basically to bite into that bare metal. What we will go over this with is a high build primer surfacer, and that'll get any of those cracks and crevices and everything. And we're completely done with everything. We will take some guide coat and that'll show us kind of where to hit our low spots and stuff. We may have to put a little bit more surfacer in it and everything just to get it as perfect as we possibly can. Not perfect, but as good as we possibly can. But before we do that, obviously there's a lot of car to go. We need to complete that other side and we need to work our way up to the front. But as far as the main body of the car, when we get those two sides done, we knock out our rockers and our wraparound windshield and everything. That's it. That's the main body work we have to do on the car. Other than I will go through and weld up all the spots where the rockers were bolted on. We have a few rust spots that we still need to repair up top here, but that'll be it. that etch coat nice and dry, we can go ahead and throw down some high build primer surfacer. That'll give us something to work with. Go away, little buddy. All right, with our sides looking much more presentable, we need to go ahead, go away, little spider, go away, and see what we can do about tackling this crunch right here. Now what I've decided to do is I went ahead and picked up, which I need to do this a little differently, this body puller. I figured there's probably quite a few spots in cars that we'll need to use this on anyways. And so basically this is just a little slide hammer, and what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna go ahead and make another bracket for pulling with, because this, I want a sharper angle to really bite in and grab and not just flare it down. I really want it to actually stretch and pull that metal out. So let's go ahead really quick and make ourselves another pulling bracket specifically for this, and we'll get it up in there and see if we can yank it out. Okay, just kidding. Decided to go ahead and bend that because we'll use it on other stuff, and I'm sure you can get more of these anyways. I couldn't really find anything but aluminum, and we obviously, that'll just flare right back out. So let's see what we can make happen here. I think we're gonna need a new puller thing. So you're not supposed to bend these. All right, it's a little bit more massaging. It's better. So looking at it with our lens here, we have a nice line there, other than this needs to actually come out, and then this entire side needs to come down. Alright, now I need to get this corner up a little bit. And then I'll use this 4x6 to hold this section in place now that we have it nice and level. And we will try to get the rest of this pulled down.
Okay, I'm gonna take this, you take this, and you hold this in exactly where it wants to top it. I got this thing, you put, good?
Yep. Okay.
There? Yeah.
Alright. Alright, I think that's as close as we're going to get it, and we just need very little filler to get it looking just right. But I'm pretty happy with it for just some old-fashioned banging around. There you go, with just a little bit of skim and primer and high build. There she is, looking pretty dang good. Matching this side nicely. Well, you all tell me, does that look good? I'm pretty pleased with it, and for really not being a potty guy, pretty happy with how it came out. Now, that took forever, but hey, we got it. All right, with most of our major rust repair taken care of and body work done, we've got a couple spots here that need to be taken care of. As you can see, we've got really good metal all the way around them, but we do want to get that cut out and taken care of. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do, we'll grab our body saw, and we'll get these sections cut out, we'll get some fresh metal for them, get them welded up, cleaned up, and we will be just about done with most of what. All right, we got all the junk cut out. It's time to make some templates and make some new pieces and get them welded in. There it is. Now we can go ahead and put just a nice little thin layer of filler and get it primed in. All right, now I have gone ahead and 80 grit scuffed all of this, wiped it down with our cleaner, and I can throw just a little bit of skim on there. There we go, all patched in. That right there is like 98% of the body work as far as rust repair welding goes done with this car. The only other places that we're really going to have to tackle is there's a couple little spots in our door jambs, and that is it. That is literally it. We have knocked out most of the body work on this car. Now obviously there's going to be, what I've decided to do is here shortly, I think it'll be really fun, we're going to take a little trip, well, 9.5 hour trip. If y'all remember Chris Parkinson, we're going to ride up to Maryland here in a few weeks, probably, maybe a couple, maybe, we haven't quite decided when we're going to go up yet, but we're going to ride up to Chris Parkinson. He does a lot of body work and paint, and he's really good at it. And y'all saw his black car. I believe he painted that one, and he's painted a few other, and he's pretty good at it. So he's going to help us knock out the rest of the body work, just kind of finish everything over, and we're going to get the car painted. So that won't be long, and this thing's going to be in paint. I'm super excited for that. Now, I have seen quite a few comments about color. This right here is the original color. You see it's a 250 code, which is that ice green metallic, and that is the original paint on this car. So I believe that's what we're going to go back with. We may end up giving it just a little bit of a twist, but I think you'll really like it. All right, y'all, that is going to wrap it up for this video. There's still a lot more that we have going on right here, but I really want to get you all out an update, because we really have just been going crazy on this body work. And me personally, this is a learning experience for me, and it's taken me quite a bit longer than I wanted it to and expected it to, but I want it really to just be right and very presentable. Now that we've gotten this majority knocked out, we'll be back regular with this car, as regular as I possibly can be, and before long we'll be ready for paint. But before we paint the car, it's going to run. The engine bay is an original paint, and it's pretty decent shape. We just need to clean it up. I kind of want to leave it, you know, as a I don't even know. I want to be able to pop that hood and y'all kind of see, and you kind of see where the car came from. You know, the engine bay pretty clean and pretty tidy, but with that original paint, because it hasn't been painted or anything in there in the past throughout these different paint jobs and everything. And so the next couple steps is going to be going ahead and knocking out our suspension work, getting our pedal set put together, our brakes together, and then I want to go ahead and put a new clutch and get the flywheel blanchard around. I want to get that engine and transmission together, get an intake on it, get the thing running so we can be able to pull the car around and actually be able to drive it before we go to paint it. And that'll make it easier for us loaded up on the, well, I don't know if it'll make it easier, but this car will be done and driving before the end of this year. That is my goal. That is what we're going to make happen. And so we really need to push this car along to make it get done. Thank you all so much for the positive love and support that we've had so far on this, that we've always had on this channel, especially with our builds and our crazy stuff that we have going on, like our TDI Rabbit and everything. If you guys remember Cody from Broke Premiere, be sure to go check out his channel. He's been working on something really big for us. On our next Porsche video, I'm gonna let y'all know what it is, and I think y'all be really excited. But he does some cool repair stuff and stuff with cars that I think you all will enjoy, so be sure to swing over and check his channel out. Down in the comment section, I want to go ahead and name this car. I think it'll give more life to the build. Put what name you think we should name the car. Give me some ideas. We'll go through, pick the best ones, do kind of a tally or something, and whoever wins that name will get a special prize. So let me know what y'all want to name this car. Peace out, and catch y'all on the flip side.